Rightio, welcome ladies and gentlemen to On Loose Lines. Now we've got to fix something up, but it's okay. No, my daughter hasn't done something quite right. You'll have to turn it around a little bit for me, Woody, to see. No, not full screen. Get out of full screen, so it's okay. We'll just, yep, perfect. Just leave it at that. So that's okay. Right, we are live on Loose Lines, back for another week, and we've got a big show coming up. We've got David Brick coming on the show, and we also have Mark Barton's going to be joining me as well. So there'll be plenty of people getting involved in the show. Please get involved. You know how to do it. If you've been watching these shows long enough, you know to get involved via the comments. We had Lisa Miles join us last week, sending me messages via this platform, and that's exactly what we want people to do. So please, if you are watching and enjoying the show, get involved and let me know what's going on. Let me know who's going to win the Melbourne Cup. We can go from there as well, so we can get that part out going from there. As I said, plenty happening with the Queenslanders, plenty happening with Nutrien as well. My daughter can go if you want, Don, so it's all good. Okay, she might want a bit of her time. When she walks out of the screen, people are going to get to see her, so we'll just see how she goes from there. So don't cry and crawl, because it actually has a flaw. Just having a little bit of fun with my daughter. She's not going to enjoy me. See, you can see it down over there. See, down there. She's not happy. Anyway, that's okay. Bit of fun. Right, plenty happening though. The last week, of course, we had the announcement that the Inter-Dominion, the Inter-Dominion is going to Queensland. We will touch on that in a sec with David Brick, so please get involved with that. We also have the running. If you actually turn the live feed on your phone, you'll be able to watch yourself walk through it, because it's a 40-second delay. So just giving you the heads up. We also had the announcement that harness racing could return to Moonee Valley. Wonder what people's thoughts are on that. Hello, Kate Tubbs. Hello to you. So some pretty big news there as well with that, and what people may or may not think about going back to Moonee Valley. Personally, I think it could be great. The Melton tryout has worked, but it hasn't worked. Funny, anyone? She's watching herself too. She's actually on there. I can tell she's watching. She'll be watching to see if people notice her skidding out of the back, but that's okay. Just have fun. That's what On Loose Lines is about. We just got to have fun. But yeah, thoughts on Moonee Valley. Getting back to it as well. So there's plenty of stuff to get out there. Plenty of good racing coming up. Plenty of good racing being had. Terrific today. Mo'unga winning the Kaikoura Cup in New Zealand. So congratulations, Regan Todd and Robbie Close. Great little win that, and well done to those guys. And also Mystic Max for Michael Purdon, Nathan Purdon's brother, and of course Mark Purdon's son, as well, taking out that race. I think the last race, I heard, got to be a little bit careful. I think I heard there the other day, today though, that the last race that horse won was actually 12 months ago, the same race. So there it is, the South Bay Trotters Cup. It's a Group 3. He's in the Dominion as of next week. It's not the Dominion Handicap. It is the Dominion, $400,000 Dominion, to be run Tuesday week. And I don't know if this shows you his horse's last wins. Oh yeah, I know how to do it. There is a way you can do it. Somehow. Yeah, if one of my New Zealand friends were watching, they'd actually tell me how to do it. But I think I heard today that it was actually the horse's last win was the same race last year. So he obviously likes the track. One overall, didn't enjoy that. Actually, I want to show you a race. I've got to wait for David Brick, so I'm going to show you a race. Sooner they go back to Moonee Valley, the better. Well done, Jeffrey. And it is not going back to the old. It's actually coming back to the new. So I just want to show you this race. This is some of the best pieces of, and hello to you, Jeffrey, too. Best pieces of, I don't know, well, I'm going to call it horsemanship. Could have also been a little bit of good luck. We will go to that one, and then we're going to go to this one here. Now this is I forget what this race was called. I want you to watch Sooner the Better. So this horse here in the grey, you can see my cursor on there. I need to put my cursor, and this horse here in front, and just watch here. They unfortunately with the standing starts, but if you keep watching those two horses, you can see one's galloping. Now watch this. How did he not get tipped out? Has got me absolutely buggered. That's his Zach Butcher. He is all but out there. It is just an amazing piece of horsemanship. Now, unfortunately, he got beat. but the other horse didn't. The other horse actually got the chockies. That actually works really good. Fixed up one of my cameras, done something a bit different. Wow, that actually helps me. Pretty impressed with that. Anyway, story for another day. But yeah, so that that horse there. Oh, now I've got all sorts of things going on, so that's okay. Yeah, they didn't get tipped out, but Ricaro Rocket was outstanding. Sooner the better. Was probably a bit disappointing. Only got beat 4.5 metres, but Ricaro Rocket was outstanding winning there. And then the Kaikoura Cup, Mosdale being second, Better Eclipse third. He was phenomenal. Better Eclipse having been to that track. Brilliant race meeting, brilliant track, brilliant place to go and watch races, and it's a terrific place to go to. A couple of nice little wins earlier on in the day as well for some of the 2-year-olds, and any of the Kiwis that may be watching, there probably won't be, but coming home, give me a yell. Sharon Murphy, hello to you, darling. Hope you're well. Enjoying the sunshine in beautiful Ararat. Oh, didn't like that. We need to get rid of that. We just got a little bit of feedback there, so I do apologise for that part there. So we had that. Rightio, some of the news or items we need to get. I was going to say, I haven't got it here. Standardbred Cup. Now, Nom's closed for this Wednesday. Tomorrow being a public holiday down here in Victoria. But this meeting, make sure you get involved with this. This is a Weirs IGA Liquor Standardbred Pacing Cup and their Trotting Cup. Both $15,000. Well done to the club for getting behind that and getting involved in it. Plus, they have a $2,000 bonus on the day for the trainer and a $2,000 bonus on the driver. Plus, every runner gets a $50 fuel voucher. Every horse you take. So if you take 10 horses to the Standardbred Cup meeting, you're going to get $500 fuel voucher. Not only that, because of the way the trainer's bonus works, you get a point for turning up. So if you take 10 horses there, you've got 10 points straight away. Then it goes to a 3-2-1 vote system. So you get a point for turning up, and then it goes from there. So, of course, the more horses you put in, the better your chances are. The club want that. The club want this to be a huge meeting. So it is on Sunday afternoon. Noms don't close. They don't normally would close on a Tuesday. They will close Wednesday. The driver's bonus is again for the leading driver. So we want to get as many of the good drivers there as we can. $2,000 into the kit. For the drivers, there is no 1 point to turn up. It is just a 3-2-1. So make sure you get involved with that. Plus, you're also, as I said, $50 fuel voucher. It's just outstanding. I think well done to the club for getting behind it and getting this out there. I think it's just a terrific amount of bonuses. So, the sporting club and also Weirs IGA getting behind those $15,000, which is terrific. $2,000 to the trainer, $2,000 to the driver, leading driver for the day, and $50 fuel vouchers. Which, if you only take one horse and you've got to travel 3 hours, $50 probably doesn't go a long way. But if you take 5 or 6, it really will. So be aware of that. Actually, should have. I'm not sure if this computer has my harness web account on it. If it does, I'll have a quick look while we're going, and go from there. Because I reckon people possibly just need to be aware when Noms close. Not sure how I ought to do that actually. Maybe I didn't even have to go in here. Research. Let's just see if this brings up. No, I reckon I didn't have to do this. I reckon I could have just gone to. We'll go back to here. This is riveting TV for you guys, but that's okay. Jenna Picker, hello to you. Crystal Hackett, hello. Driving home, I would imagine, in the car. Got a treble last week. Hasn't had a winner this week, but she might have had a couple. I haven't done the form for Auckland, so I will be doing the Over the Ditch show, but Crystal's having a huge run. Must say, big shout out to Sarah O'Reilly too. It's her birthday today. So well done to Sarah. As I said, we've got David Brick coming on very shortly, but he just needed a little bit of time to get there. So Sarah O'Reilly's birthday. It is, so I've got that Standardbred meeting coming up here. Philip Wood, hello to you, Philip, from Mount Gambier. Yeah, Noms to close 8:30. I can pretty simply do that. Don't think I've got one for that there. That's a bit of a bugger, but I'll do that for next week's show. But we'll go to that one. Noms close at 8:30, acceptance is 10:30, and barriers and fields are out because of the public holiday. But look at those prize money. Great lot of races for most classes there as well. So congratulations and well done to the Standardbred Harness Racing Club for getting behind it. I've got to get used to. And then I don't think I needed that. Can't remember how I did this, because I don't think I needed that on that. Because now, just bear with me. Just 1 second. If I go, yep. Don't have to do that. Just do that. So okay, starting to work these things out. Keep tinkering with things from time to time and going from there. Alan Tormey returned to the sulky, a winner yesterday at Cobram, so well done to Alan Tormey as well. The Yarra Valley Pacing Cup, unfortunately this is not, well, it's just lost. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, sad to see the Yarra Valley Harness Racing Club on Oaks Day. They'll get a huge meeting on that card at Yarra Valley. But the Yarra Valley Pacing Cup is now an up to 55 rated race. It's a final to be run at 3 minutes to 5, and going from there. Nothing against those horses, but yeah, I've seen some cracking Yarra Valley Cups over the journey, and yeah, one's for the ages. And it's sad to see that this race is now a $10,000 final on Oaks Day. And I will say I had a look at the Facebook page for Yarra Valley, and there's no mention on there about the Pacing Cup being run and won, or any giveaways on that day as well. So a little bit disappointing. They've also got their Trotters Cup on there, and it's also up to 55 for $10,000 as well. So yeah, I understand it's hard times. It's hard times for everyone, but yeah, possibly just a little bit disappointing there, that one. But make sure you get behind St Arnaud. Must say well done to Swan Hill as well. They had their cup last Friday. Good prize money races taken out by Parisian Artiste. Took out the Trotters Cup. And I'm going to just, I know the horse, Wildside, I think his name is. I forgot his name. Anyway, Emma Stewart Clayton Tonkin, sorry, trained, and it's a horse that everyone likes. I know that Mark Pitt drove like a wildfire is the name of that horse. He went terrific there, beating Mickey O from Tasmania, and Tiger Bandwagon. So yeah, $25,000 Swan Hill Pacing Cup, and the $20,000 King of the North Swan Hill Trotters Cup as well. We're running one good little races too. So well done to those clubs for putting those on. I could have probably got Jared Maloney on a week out if I hadn't known that, but yep, it's a bit hard sometimes. Don't know everything that does go on as well. I'm just trying to find my time, not quite quarter past. Regan Todd, as I said, summer carnival dates. We've got a bit to cover off with the boys. Should give, actually, we'll do this. Make sure that people are aware of all of my, where are they? Here we go, the 2020-24 Stallion roster. Harasta Trotters, of course, they have their Stallion roster. I was going to change hats, don't know where my hat is, so we'll just leave this one on. EL Titan, always ready and used to me, standing here in Victoria. You can see their prices average there, advertised there, $4,000, $2,000 and $1,750, and Classic Connection at $3,500. Standing in Queensland, David Brick will talk to us a little bit about that as well. You also have On a Streak standing in New Zealand at Waihi Farm for the sum of $3,500. So if you're in New Zealand, make sure you get in touch with those guys there. Then they have the Frozen Seaman. In New Zealand, you get the access to EL Titan and Classic Connection. Back of the Neck, only available here in Australia. And then Equerry D and the 100% producer in Orlando, Vici. Of course, the sire of Just Believe, going from there. And we will touch on Classic Connection. I'll touch on that one with Bricky in a minute. Woodland Stud, Lather Up, had a brilliant little winner today at Kaikoura. Go back and watch that horse there. First starter was terrific from last to first at the top of the straight, but they stand, of course, standing Better's Delight, Down by the Seaside, Lather Up, Speeding Spur, Sweet Lou, and What the Hill. American Ideal was available for Frozen Seaman, but all of his seamen on both sides of the ditch, Australia and New Zealand, has been taken up, so there's no more available for him. And of course, in Australia, Sweet Lou is fully booked. What the Hill, I think he had a treble on Friday night just gone at Auckland. He had a double today at I'm going to get the name wrong for the name of the track. It wasn't Kaikoura. He had a winner at Kaikoura, but they also had a Manawatu. Sorry, he also quinelled the first race there. Cam Bray, regular on this show, his horse ran second, unfortunately, just pipped out for him on that occasion. Also a big shout out to Michael House too. Had a very, very good day there on the tools. Aldebaran Park, of course, has got their roster out for 2024-25 with Dancing in the Dark M available here in Australia and in New Zealand. I noticed there's a couple of yearlings available in the yearling sales, and we'll touch on that with Barto a bit later on. Sky Valley for $2,000, only available in Australia and only available in New Zealand by a Frozen Seaman, his Aldebaran Eagle, and we know what sort of a job he keeps doing. He won the kindergarten stakes, I think it was, at Globe Derby on Saturday night. Just continues to do an awesome job. We'll be catching up. I'll be doing a couple of things Wednesday, so we'll be catching up there at the Bathurst. At Bendigo harness racing. Sorry, I was reading too many things. And then, of course, Wingate Farms. Give Jake Stockton a call on 0428 527 998. Standing Father Nuno, the full brother to Captain Treacherous, Fast as the Wind, Cantab Hall, Stay In, Be Happy Back by Mac 3, and Tintin in America, who needs no introduction. I think he's a McArdle, actually, Tintin in America. Someone will correct me. But yeah, he's just the evergreen. Tintin in America continues to do it. Get in touch with Jake on 0428 527 998. There we are. Looked after all of my sponsors and people that contribute to me going along. Of course, Barristock, great supporters of Campbell's Comments, as are Nutrien Equine and a few of the others going from there. So we'll getting the message out there. And now hopefully we'll be able to get David Brick on the phone. All going well. I know he's been in meetings today and he just asked me to call him at about 1:15, which we will do. Hopefully we can get him if he doesn't answer. Better turn that one up, turn that one down. Go from there. Melbourne Cup, they did used to be huge. Jeffrey Dixon. David Brick.
Hey Paul. How are you, Paul?
Very well, mate. Are you good to go or are you still busy?
No, I'm good to go.
Very good, mate. I didn't put your name up because I know you've been in and out of meetings today, and I suppose that's the joys of the job that you have from time to time.
No, all good. No, just finished a meeting with some participants, which is good. So, no, happy to chat.
Good as gold. Plenty going on in Queensland, mate. Firstly, Racing Queensland, you guys are, I suppose, the overarching and look after the racing side of things. But you must be pretty happy with the way things are heading at the minute.
Yeah, look, I think we've last 4 to 5 years, we've sort of certainly had some positivity around the industry and seen some stakes growth and a range of different events have grown out of that, including, particularly Constellations, which are sort of, I guess, our flagship brand from a harness racing point of view. And, we've had some really good government support. We've just recently got a new government elected, the LNP, so we'll obviously look to work hard with them as well to continue that trend. And, from a harness racing point of view, I guess the key thing from our industry perspective is really looking to improve our infrastructure. That's been one area that, for a number of years has been has needed improvement. And look, probably hasn't been one we've been able to fully get the noose around the head and get it sorted. We're looking to need government support with that, but the new lights at Redcliffe are soon to be switched on, which will be great. But yeah, things like training centres and the future of metropolitan harness racing obviously been a little bit in abeyance with initially the announcement of the QHC, but then the government decided they weren't going to use this block of land for that. So certainly for the we're looking to see what we can do with Albion Park and continue with a home of racing here and improve that as an experience for participants and also spectators.
I'm not going to hold you to anything, but that will stay as the home for Queensland. That is where you see it at the minute?
Yeah, that's certainly been the indication since they determined that this site wouldn't be used for a basketball stadium, is what they had it earmarked for as part of the Olympics, and sort of changed tack a bit with a range of different venues. So, yeah, so we've got some work underway with the Albion Park Club. Soon the Greyhounds will depart here, looking around about March next year with their new facility at Perga, just near Ipswich. That opens then. So that'll make it a sole harness racing venue, which provides some opportunities for the industry here that we haven't had in terms of flexibility around the venue when we race and the like. So well, obviously that'll be sort of the starting point with regard to that. Looking at our calendar, not to say that anything drastic is going to change, but it certainly gives us that flexibility to look at what other opportunities that presents, and then also going through a master planning exercise with regard to it. So lucky that the facility's so close to the city, so
Yep.
What other options there are in with regard to that, and also looking at what we can do from a training centre point of view, albeit that very unlikely that we'd look at that at Albion Park on an ongoing basis, just given that the size and space just isn't really there to do that. So we'll probably look at a separate facility for that. So
there is a couple of options there. That's one of, I suppose, one of the issues you have with your two major tracks, isn't it? Like Redcliffe, definitely there's no space for a training facility, and you're very, very limited at Albion Park, and I would imagine also it's probably too busy an area to be training horses out of, and I mean that as far as nightlifes and things like that goes on.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's still quite a number of horses not stabled at Redcliffe, but in Knight Street. The history to it was, I think that street was full of trainers and probably others around there. Over time, those houses have turned into townhouses and the like. So, but there's still a number of horses stabled there. But I think over time the attrition will be that there'll be less there. And as you said, here at Albion, there was, I think, a similar scenario here, but most of those properties that did have stables that neighboured Albion are gone now and used for other purposes. And it's not really an ideal location for 24/7 or 52 weeks a year training. We do obviously have some stabling here, which we utilise during the carnival period for particularly interstate horses that are looking to head this way, and New Zealand horses, and when hopefully will be well used for the Inter-Dominion next year. But it's a longer term stabling proposition. I don't think that'll sort of fit part of the master plan.
No, and to get the Kiwi horses and some of those other horses to have somewhere purpose built where they can train their horses away from the, if you like, the nightlife hustle and bustle, just where the horses can settle a bit better, would be probably that next phase, I'd imagine, with the way you guys are heading, the way you've changed up your whole racing structure. And that's one of the things we want to touch on today, but I would imagine that's possibly where a purpose-built training centre would really serve a purpose. Yeah,
I think that's the most logical situation result from that point of view. So that'll be something we work with the new government on, and determining where that is and what's included there. But certainly, we're mindful that both our tracks are sort of one's at Redcliffe and obviously at Albion, so we don't want to have participants travelling too far to those venues. So we obviously aim to get something that's close enough, but as you said, still far enough out of the urban sprawl to ensure it's a good place for horses to be stabled and cared for.
We've got plenty of people watching. Trent Mason from New Zealand. Don't know if you know him, but you might get to know him soon. But Les Chapman, I know you know Les from Maryborough, and David White with Bet and Win. Hasn't he had stocks risen since visiting Queensland?
He has, yes. Well, we were stoked for David and Stacey when they came over and won the Derby. It was obviously bittersweet with regard to Bet and Win, who was coming over and won his first start here, but unfortunately was unable to go beyond that. But it's great to see him returned home and looking to take on Just Believe in a week's time, which will be great. Looking forward to seeing that. But no, it's good to see them doing well over there.
No, absolutely. Rightio. 2025 Inter-Dominion is going to Queensland and staying to Queensland for 3 years. You must be wrapped with that, and I imagine Queensland must be wrapped with that, but from an administrative point of view, I suppose gives you a bit of surety for the next 3 years on what you're doing in the middle of winter next year, in that time.
Yeah, for sure. Look, we're wrapped to be able to do that. I think anyone who's a harness racing enthusiast, that if you can bring the Inter-Dominion into your schedule, I think that's a bonus. We've had to make some, not so much sacrifices, but compromises to get it there, but we think, and the general feel from industry before the decision was made, but as we worked through that, was that the feeling that the Inter-Dominion could fit really well in that winter period in Queensland, just given the weather and I guess the other races that we have on there. So if we could make it fit, I think there was a general view that it was well worth a crack there, and our view was that to make it happen, and we saw with a toe in the water how the Inter-Dominion worked up here in December, and the interest that was in it locally, and great crowd on final night, that we thought it was well worth investing in. And we certainly saw from a wagering point of view that the interest in that race was significantly more than any other harness event that we'd held, certainly in my time here in Queensland. So it ticked the boxes in terms of trying to see if we could secure the event, but in saying that, it was respectful that Harness Racing Victoria and Harness Racing New South Wales, along with Clubman Angle, were also our co-hosts of the event. So, there was a contract in place, an agreement in place between the four of us that would have seen it race in Victoria and New South Wales through that period as well. So we had to have that discussion with them, and, it was really pleasing that they were supportive of it. And similar to, I guess, much of the industry is thinking that it had a nice fit in Queensland, or at least to give it a go and see how that went for a 3-year period. So, so it's great that we're able to do that. And, as part of that, as I said, one of the key aspects that we discussed with industry up here was about, we felt the need to really make it an Inter-Dominion of relevance. So we had to get the pacing final, if we could, to $1 million. And it's great that we're also able to increase the trotters to that $400,000 mark as well. So, hopefully the eyeballs and the best participants and horses will be in Queensland in July next year.
Tommy Patterson, he's watching from the Commodore in New Zealand, and they look after me enormously when I am over there. But they also own a little mare called Duchess Megxit. They might be eyeing off a winter getaway, if you like, to Queensland with her next year. I'm a bit torn, Bricky, and like the Inter-Dominion 3 heats and a final.
Yes.
And now it's not. But I just want to, if I could just say one thing, as a person that has totally changed the way I look at this sport, I think an industry and people, we need to embrace the world that we live in, if you like, now. Albeit a Standardbred can race 3 times in 1 week and back up a week later. Is it the right thing that we're doing by our horses? And is it the right thing we're doing by our marketing and things along those lines? So when I first saw it, I was like, and then afterwards I thought, actually, it's probably fair enough if that, in the current climate. What was the thinking? What was the rationale behind Racing Queensland's thoughts to go back to 2?
Look, I think the long and the short of it really was, as we, I guess, asked the question, do we think we have a better chance of getting the best horses here if it's, 2 heats instead of 3? And is the third heat likely to stop some horses because of the nature of the Inter-Dominion, and completely respect and understand that, the Inter-Dominion has been built around that mystique of, horses having to get through to the final. So, while I guess we did want to take away from that, we're mindful of the breed that's changed, and that horses have got to go on to other races afterwards. And we felt that to get the best horses here, that was our best opportunity to do that. So that was primarily our thinking behind that. That the 2 heats into the final would give them the chance to get the best horses that we can to Queensland. So it's not to say that was the unanimous decision. There was clearly some different views either way on that. So it's sort of I guess it's one that we'll see how it goes in the first year, and if we think that it could be better with a third heat, then we'd certainly review that for the other 2 years. But in the first instance, we'll certainly give it a crack at 2 heats into the final and see what the results are.
Yeah, as I said, it is an interesting one, and you've been in the game for a long time. Sam Lockhart has said to say hello. I think you used to work with him at Geelong by the looks. He's sending me some messages, so don't worry. We've got people watching that I don't even know where they're watching from. They're sending me messages at different ways, but it is, as I say, and I'm sure you've seen the same thing over the journey that they're tough, but we do have I suppose the dirty word, duty of care. If you like now, Bricky, we've got to put on a product, we've got to put on entertainment, and it can't be questioned as to what we're doing. If that's the right way, I don't know if that's quite the right way to say it, but we need to we need to stand the social test, if you like, the pub test. Is it going to be spoken about nicely if we have 3 heats in 1 week and something bad happens to one of our star horses? Is the Breakfast Creek Hotel going to be happy with that or bad with that? And I think that's the reality.
Yeah, and I think that our experience albeit in sort of that summer period, when we did have the 3 heats, we had several horses scratched by the third heat as well. So I guess it also, and if we look back on that third night of heats, there was one, I think, really competitive heat, and the other two were, probably not as competitive because the horses, I guess, that were likely to make the final were pretty much guaranteed a start in that. And so I think that that sort of potentially can have some issues, particularly if you're not having got full fields by that third round of heats as well. So, look, as I said, all in all, it's probably no right or wrong answer in regard to it. I respect the event as it has been for a long time, or has been, but that's, I guess, our call on it for next year, and we still think it'll still be a great event for 2 heats or 3 heats. But yeah, so we're looking forward to that, and we'll see how that plays out.
How many runners to the heat, Bricky?
We'll be having 12 in each. We're sort of just working. We haven't finalised the distance of the heats as yet, so we're still working through that with the club and sort of the overall conditions. We're really mindful of making the heats really competitive, so we're looking at some ways as well of offering potentially bonus points through those races as well, so that keep as many horses alive on that last night as possible, to make the racing really competitive. So there's plenty of discussion that we'll have with the club around that, and we'll reach out to industry to get some feedback on those ideas. But as I said, probably underlying that is trying to make sure that the heats are really competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a lot of people watching. Graham McDermott's tuned in. Graz, I hope you're feeling better. He's not having the best of run at the minute, Bricky. I know you'd know Graham, and hopefully things are on the up for the young man going up there. Lockie Mitchell's on there, Ray Tatt's on there as well. So you got plenty of people, plenty of the ex-Victorians, but big shout out to Graz. Hopefully he's on the mend going there. One of the questions I've got here, Bricky, how will the Inter-Dominion and your slot races work being run around the same time? And I suppose this is one of the questions I've got to in a way is you've announced a new Summer Carnival as well, and I'm just curious as to how all this is going to work and where potentially it's going to fit in. I know at the minute it's to be announced, I think is what TBA means, but it's an interesting one.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and look, I guess there's probably a few different elements to it. Probably in terms of looking at what the schedule will look like in a nutshell through that Inter-Dominion Constellations period. So we have reduced the number of weeks across Redcliffe and Albion for the Constellations. So there'll be 1 week at Redcliffe, which will be their cup meeting, and several features. And then that'll go into the first round of heats of the Inter-Dominion the following week, but the flagship race on that night will be the Rising Sun. There'll be some other feature races on there, but that'll be the other main flagship race on those Inter-Dominion heat nights. Probably the key aspect with regard to the Rising Sun was that the winner, should it be a 4-year-old, will get effectively a golden ticket into the final of the Inter-Dominion, so they go straight through.
Yep.
Look, somewhat controversial, but we wanted to make sure we're mindful of the performance of 4-year-olds in the Inter-Dominion in recent times. I know Ultimate Sniper won one as a 4-year-old, Leap to Fame's won one. So we're mindful that they've had a really good record in it in recent times. So we didn't want to take away or discount the opportunity for them to get in there, particularly, that really good 4-year-old. So hence that golden ticket, and gives them a leg up into the final. And then the second round of heats will be run, but the Proto Star will be run on that night, so that'll give the 2-year-olds a chance for that race to really take the limelight on that night. And then obviously go into the final night, which on that night will be a really great night racing. Sorry, can't get my lips around it. I've had a couple of beers, but I haven't. But no, so on that night there'll also be the Oaks and Derby. We've also obviously there'll be some constellations of the Inter-Dominions, and there's one other race I'm trying to think. I think Golden Girl will be on that night as well.
Sorry, yep.
Yeah, so, and part of the thinking behind that is that it gives the opportunities for the mares to have a go at those 2 heats of the Inter if they won, and if they qualify for the final, well and good. But if not, then obviously they can filter into that Group 1 event on that night. So
and that gets back to those Duchess Megxits and those horses in New Zealand that they might say, oh, do we or don't we? Well, they they can chance their arm, as you said, and if they miss out, there's still a nice little carrot at the end of the rainbow for them in the middle of winter.
Yeah, that's right. So, and look, there's some other support races around for horses like that. I think the Fleur de Lille, I think the week before, and that. So those, the mares that don't necessarily want to go to the Inter, they don't have to. There will be some opportunities for them, but I guess for those, higher class mares who really, and their owners want to have a crack at the Inter Dominion, we've, I guess, left the door open there certainly, and for them to have a crack at that if they make the final fields. And yeah, but if not, as you said, there is a pretty good carrot for them there. And then, but out of there, probably the key races.
Just before you go, just back to the Inter Dominion for 1 sec. So the Rising Sun, they get a golden ticket into the final?
Yeah, that's right. They will have had to have. We've got to work through the conditions, but they'll certainly have to have paid the acceptance fee and the like to. They'll have to pay that to get in there. So there won't be, I guess, any free kick from that point of view. But
So what happens if we get a nice 3-year-old that wins the Rising Sun? Can they acquire? If they want to, can they have a crack at it?
Look, at this stage, we haven't finalised the conditions, so I guess if the view was that we should allow that, that's probably something we'll work through. At this stage, our view would be that it would be it'd be only for the 4-year-old if they won it, if they won. Sorry. Yep. So look, I guess, as I said, the conditions aren't finalised yet. It's something we'll have a chat with the industry about, of whether or not which should be left open for the winner. But at this point in time, our view was that a 4-year-old, if they win that race, then they can get into the race. Yeah, no, I put that out there, and basically that's what we're doing. So if people have a thought, get in touch with you guys. Don't be shy. Yeah. You're telling people you want to know your thoughts. Back to that pub test and getting people talking. It's always one of those things where Melbourne Cup tomorrow, Derby was run on Saturday. They never do it nowadays because it's too hard. But there is always that little bit of chatter, and that's what we need, that side chatter, if you like. Not just the good horses and promoting the good horses. We need that little bit of something else, I suppose, to spice up the industry sometimes. Yeah, well, I know Sean McNulty did put it out there that maybe we should have done the same thing for the Great Square as we did for the Rising Sun. So, at the end of the day, probably for next year, we've sort of made our decision around where that schedule will be. But I think, something like that's a pretty good idea that, if we can fit that race into that schedule, and potentially that's a pretty good carrot into there. So, as you said, I think there's a lot of good initiatives and ideas within the industry, so we're all ears in regard to that. I guess we take on board, or we have views that we think, maybe a 3-year-old won't go in it, but who knows, maybe there are some views around industry that you should leave that open. It might make some intrigue, and there are horsemen or horse people that would have a crack at it. So yeah, as I said, always open to that feedback. In the old, they'd be nearly 4, but they're not in the old anymore. But just happy to put that one out there. Yeah, that's right. Yes, that is true. There's two sides. There is definitely two sides to it. I could have helped you out there before too, because I actually have this. Actually, I don't want that one. This stuff. I got this thing here. So the other races. These are the races. So this is your summer carnival, and of course these haven't been announced yet. You've got your yearling, Redcliffe yearling sale races with terrific prize money there, and that sale's going on again next year. Right through to the Great Square, the Blacks Are Fake on Blacks Are Fake night. I've got too many mice in front of me. I'm turning buttons and they're not moving. And your trotting feature, and again, terrific. This is to be announced. When will this be announced, Bricky? Do you know the dates there? So the dates for that summer looks like being late November, early December. We're still working through that. There's a bit of work from a HRA point of view to just make sure that any clashes are minimised. But that's sort of the plan. So as you said, the Redcliffe will have a week there. So instead of having the Friday night as they did in winter, they'll have another Saturday night instead in November, and then they'll have the patrons person, their 2- and 3-year-old yearling sales races, as you said. Then they'll progress. It'll progress through to the Sunshine Sprint. I think the DJA trotting final will be on that first night, and then into the last night, which includes the Great Square and the Blacks Are Fake, which still be a grand circuit level. So we will be making some changes to some of those stake levels. So the the Blacks of Fake has been run for around about 400,000 in the last few years, so that'll be at about 250,000 as a result of bringing the Inter-Dominion in. So we've effectively worked by and large within the same stakes budget, and I guess shuffled the deck shares around with regard to feature races to help incorporate the Inter-Dominion, along with some other funding and that we've been able to garner. But yeah, it's probably pretty important to note that that's how we've been able to achieve those stakes increases for those two inter-finals, is primarily around just cutting up our stakes budget a little bit differently, but importantly our Q-bred and base stakes and the like, they won't be touched as part of this. It's really feature race prize money that we've looked to reallocate.
There's never an easy time to fit these races in, but I will say the Breeders' Crown is actually on it at the minute. Field sizes aren't that great there, so there's probably going to be an open up, if you like, in the feature race calendar I'm not saying the Breeders' Crown's finished, but
yes,
it doesn't hold possibly the same aura as it once did, that these races might be able to sort of tie in with that slot, if you like, and be able to fit in.
Yeah, look, well, that's something we'll certainly look to work with the other states to, as I said, minimise clashes and try and make sure we complement each other as much as possible. So, but that's sort of the discussion we've had with the clubs and locally is, bringing the Inter-Dominion in there means that we can sort of have two real feature carnivals. At the moment, we've really got that one in the middle of the year. We've tried where we can to put on different initiatives to promote the sport, but we haven't really had, I guess, a summer carnival as such from a harness racing point of view. So this gives that opportunity to be able to do that and, attract some good horses and participants here and the clubs to promote, racing at that time of the year. And albeit while, yes, it is warm up here in December, I still think it's, we ran a Blacks of Fake during the COVID period in the December time slot, and was well attended and some really good horses there. So we still think it'll certainly it'll work well in that window. And while Queensland might be hot, on a nice summer's night up here in Queensland in December, it'd be a nice night to be out at the trots, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And there's plenty of shade, plenty of fun to do, and I think well done for thinking outside the square. Now, I've got two questions here from the boys. Jeff Dixon: might be a little bit unfair if horses race in the heats and just miss out, through a golden pass into the final, but then Tony Chibnall turns around and he says might make the heats a bit more competitive if there's already a spot taken. So I can understand where you guys would have been sitting as well, because there's two guys just put a message in within seconds of each other, and they're basically the same discussions. And I think from my point of view that's good, because it's already got people talking about it here on this show. So when it's coming down to the time when the Inter-Dominion is going to be on, people will be talking about it. Yeah,
that's right. And look, there's no right or wrong answer really with regard to that. They certainly see that point of view. That you're right. There will be a horse that there'll be 11 horses that qualify through the traditional heats, and one other one that meets them on the final night. But I guess from our point of view, it creates a bit of that intrigue and discussion, and we think will add to the quality of the field. As I said, if we talk about horses that may have won that race in the last few years, I think when Amazing Dream, when she won the Rising Sun, she won the Blacks of Fake that year. So as a 4-year-old that went on to win it, so then Leap to Fame in his year, went through and won the Rising Sun and ran second to Swayze with a lock wheel. So, we think that we was important. Those really good 4-year-olds could really add to the final of the Inter-Dominion if we could work a way to get them in there. And that's, I guess, the way we've done it this year, or for next year anyway. Sorry.
No, I think well done, and it is awesome. Two more things to discuss with you, but if there's anything else you want to get out there, and please. Yeah, you guys know how to use this platform, and other people do as well. So hopefully, we answer a few questions for people. The Drivers' Slot Series, how's that progressing?
Yeah, really well. Got I think the 6th driver will be announced on Wednesday morning up here on morning radio, which is great. So no, it's progressing really well. Great that we've got couple of internationals already locked in, so that was exciting for the series, and we're really impressed with the quality of applicants that came in. We had, I think, 18 in the end. We had to whittle that down to 9, given the series sponsor Ladbrokes had already taken one of the slots. But no, we're really excited by it. There's a lot of interest in it, which is great. And, just even speaking to someone who was up here today saying there was 5 or 6 people that were coming up that booked a house out up here near Albion Park with 5 or 6 Victorians that are coming up for the 4 or 5 days. So, we're I guess it's the type of thing we discussed it for a fair while, what type of traction we would get outside of Queensland. We weren't too sure, but at this stage the indicators are good. And at the end of the day, with regard to the drivers, that's a slot holder decision. But the slot holders have bought into that. They earn the right to pick their driver. But we'll certainly look at how we do it in terms of future years around, we might put in place conditions that if, a slot holder's to get a slot the following year, that they can only pick the same driver if they finish top 3 or things like that. So there'll be some performance, measures put on slot holders that to try and make sure that the drivers that are chosen continue to be refreshed, because we think that's an important part of the series, or the initiative is that we continue to get new drivers and drives different discussion. And some people agree with some decisions that are made around who chooses a driver and who doesn't. I think that's part of it. It just grows organic content and discussion around that. So, but yeah, all in all, looking forward to it.
And anyone wondering, and we want people to be able to start making their bookings to get to these dates. So I'm trying to get to the dates. I'm having all sorts of trouble to try and find out.
That's right.
It actually complements the yearling
21st
sales.
and 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. 21st, 22nd, and then the yearling sales on the 23rd. So we've worked with the Creek to bring those events together, and we think that'll create a nice little event in Queensland in February. And yeah, so we're looking at how we can do, some events around the race nights as well, and how we do the race nights. We want it to be a really good on-course experience, and credit to the slot holders to date. They're really buying in. I think the type of slot holders we've got for the series are really invested in the concept, which is great. And it's a little bit different to your traditional slot series, where it might be owners or an individual owner and people that have been in the industry a long time, and not to say that those type of opportunities aren't great as well, but this one seems to resonate with a different sort of crowd, particularly with some punters and the like that think that this is a bit of a game to them. They see that they can go and pick their driver, and then they also get to take part in the draft where they get to choose the horses their driver drives, which sort of really puts them, in the coach's seat almost. So we think there's another level of engagement, which it's resonated with, a certain type of, harness enthusiast, which is good, and gives them sort of something to hopefully aim for each year and see how they can, increase their level of involvement in the sport. So I think that from that point of view, it's been really good. And as I said, it's been great working with the slot holders so far. And some of them have gone out and set up their own Twitter accounts, and they're getting social media platforms set up to promote their driver and their involvement in the series. So,
and that's actually that's what we want, Bricky, isn't it? As an industry, we need people to do things differently and think differently, and get the message out there. Like Sean McNulty ringing me. So the reason I know about Standardbred, and they got their $2,000 trainers bonus, $2,000 drivers bonus, which is something unique. They want to get more horses there. Sean rang me and just said, can we do something? People need to just, and I'm not saying I'm the golden ticket, if you like, or anything along those lines. Just think outside the square and get the message out there. Use whatever platforms we can. It's so easy nowadays, and we need to do it.
Yeah, and it's really important to note that the whole Ultimate Driver, the genesis of it came from an industry participant through a discussion I had with Trent Dawson, and we were just chewing the fat about a few different things. And one was, at the time we were looking at drivers' colours, and he sort of said, well, if you're into promoting drivers, why don't you run a series where the drivers basically, they drive for a pot of money and they can put in, $1,000 or $2,000 each, and winner take all type of thing. And that's effectively where the concept, came from. And it's sort of like, well, how can we make this work? And a bit of tinkering with that idea got us to where we are now. But as you said, I think it's important that Us as administrators, we're not the only ones that, I guess, responsible for coming up with initiatives and ideas. So, I certainly encourage that because, and as it's a flow on to the series with regard to the slot holders, it therefore puts the onus on them to go out and promote things. And we're looking forward to, some of them are looking getting their own team merchandise, and so hopefully that creates colour and atmosphere for that event that they're invested in doing it. So. That's, as I said, again, that's their initiative, and how they'll do it will be different to the next slot holder, and that's all important to bring in those different ideas. And so, we really encourage that.
No, that is that's exactly what we want, what the industry wants. Won't hold you much longer, but the Nutrien sales series, because we've got Barton coming on next to talk about all the other sales, plus the Queensland Sunshine Stars sales. But I'm just better get up to see where Noms close 10 o'clock tomorrow. Fields acceptances at 11, and fields will be available late tomorrow afternoon. But the Sunshine Stars, I suppose the inaugural running of these sales race series is here, Bricky, and you must be pretty excited and looking forward to some nice heats.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's, as you said, they've got those heats, and then we've got the final Saturday week, so looking forward to that. We've got the barrier draws. We've done live via the club's Facebook page next Monday during the race meeting we have here in the afternoon. So, really looking forward to that. It's a concept that the Melbourne Park Club came to us with in conjunction with Nutrien, and looking forward to that sale forming part of that weekend next February. So they've got about 100 horses thereabouts in the sale, which will be great. And it'd be a nice, pleasant Sunday afternoon after some pretty competitive racing on the prior 2 nights.
I remind you of that. How pleasant an afternoon. I'm not the one who gets to sit up in the grandstand up the top. Remember?
Well, when you see me running around on Friday and Saturday night, then
I'll be right. I'll be right. I'll have the little brother will be there. He'll be moulding me, so it'll be fine. So yeah.
No, that's good. No.
Ricky,
looking forward to it.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. And between yourself and Darren, I ring Darren quite regularly and bounce ideas off, but also get advice, get some feedback, and get some knowledge back. So, really appreciate you guys making the time and giving me the time, mate. I think it's great, and get the message out there. I might get Darren on in a couple of weeks and get people to their thoughts when they've been able to digest all this and think about the Inter-Dominions or the summer carnivals and go from there. So, just one very quick one. I will let you go.
Yep.
But
no, you're right.
So your summer carnival, you did say there before about Sean McNulty and the Great Square.
Yep. It's
going to the summer, but by the sounds of it, that summer carnival and potentially winter carnival is still potentially flexible as to what may or may not happen. It's locked in stone to a degree.
Yeah. I think for 2025, I think that's sort of that'll be the mix. But as I said, things like 3 heats versus 2 heats, where the different races lob. Some of it's going to be new from our point of view, and we've seen how the carnivals continue to evolve. But we'll look at all that after we've run and. Run those events, and we might turn around and go, we pulled the wrong rein there. We've got to change this up and look, at a different option. So, we obviously do our best and to try and make those right decisions. But some of it, you've got to walk a little bit, and then from there work out whether it's the right decision or not. So, all that'll be up for review and discussion post those events for sure.
No, absolutely, Ricky. Thank you. Really appreciate you as always giving me the time, mate. And. We'll catch up, as I said, either yourself or Darren in a few weeks. Darren's, I think he said he's slow cooking pulled pork tonight or something like that.
Oh,
I've got to
didn't invite me over.
I got to do do you know he ran up and down 10 flights of stairs the other day for Glad Wrap, and you know what he forgot? Glad Wrap.
Glad Wrap.
Yep. I said to him, I said, you shouldn't tell me these things, but how can you go, anyway, I don't know. I don't want to know what he was doing with the Glad Wrap. We'll leave that part alone as well. So
yeah.
We won't go there. Bricky, thank you very much, mate. Right. Really appreciate it. And
appreciate the support.
Good as gold. Thank you.
Speak soon. See you, Paul. Bye.
It's David Brick there from Racing Queensland. So some huge initiatives, and well done to those guys for driving something a bit different and going from there. Actually see more of my desk doing it this way. Rightio, Barto, we got to get, I'll just ring him first. If I can get hold of him on the phone, it's always easier, and then we can worry about the rest after that. I know he was watching before, so he will be semi-ready to go. Someone just sent me a message, but anyway, I I will worry about that later on.
Hiya.
Mark, thank you. Good, very well, thank you. How are you going?
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks. Really well.
That's good. Sorry, when I do 2 or 3 different things, I get myself very confused, which is not hard to do. So, but yeah, but anyway, we're good to go, mate. Firstly, thank you for joining me. I'll get your name up as we're going, but it's going to get pretty busy time very shortly.
Yeah, look, it's that time of year again, isn't it, mate? We've finally got the catalogues out live now. So that was we got that up there last Friday. So that was nice to launch. You know, the horses out of all the sales except Bathurst. Obviously, we leave it open till the end of the month just to allow for those few late entries to go into the sale.
Yep. And just before we get on to that, and we will highlight that in a minute, another exciting part though is the Sunshine Stars sale series kicking off next Friday, or this Friday.
Yeah,
coming.
so, it is, mate. It's $125,000 fillies and colts and individual races. So and then there's a Trotters final as well. Just see what the nominations look like. But there'll either be a mixed sex all in, I think $50,000 final, or otherwise there'll be 2 $25,000 heats. So it's two $25,000.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, so if there's
it's good value, and then they go back to 3-year-olds for paces for 100, and then it's 4-year-olds for 50. So it's great incentive to buy a horse in the Queensland sale.
It is indeed, and there's 100 of those horses up for grabs. But one thing that you and I have probably fielded plenty of conversations around is the website. People can't use it, people can't drive it, and they can't get their head around it. We're going to be able to give people a sneaky look at it today in a minute. And they're like, when will this website be launched? Before we show people what it's going to look like, when will it actually...
It's basically what I flicked you a link to is it's basically there. We just got to go through and check for a few glitches, but I'd expect we'll be looking to have something up in the next week.
Right, yeah.
By the end of next week probably. So give us 10 days. We've just got to go through the girls will go through and check that there's what we've effectively done is broken away the Standardbred from our performance horse combined page. And so we've made this one so it's standalone. It's only Nutrien Equine Standardbred will be the new email address, so nutrienstandardbred.com.au, and that'll give us a chance to just showcase the harness racing part of our business. So it's exciting, and I think you've had a chance to have a flick, and I'm happy if you put it up on your screen, a little of it, but it should be a lot easier to navigate through. Some of the links are probably still coming, and we're still building a bit into the back end of it.
One, I haven't had a chance to go through it because I was listening to the Bricky. I was just trying to get it up and get it ready. And 2, Nutrien, can you go back over that email address?
So the new email address, and bear in mind it's not there at the moment, but it'll be nutrienstandardbred.com.au. So Nutrien Standardbred, all one word.
Yep. .com.au.
That's it.
Yep. I wasn't sure if you missed the equine part out on purpose or not. So that
Nutrien Equine will actually be the old address, which will now just host the our performance horse stuff.
Yep, very, very good. Rightio, so let's get this new look website. One, you must be wrapped. The little brother will be wrapped, actually. That was his beautification, if you like. I know that was at Melbourne, that picture just there, and I'm not sure whose farm that is, if it's either... I'm going to go Craig Judd or Jackie Gibson's farm with the horses over the top looking over the
No, you'll actually find that's actually going to be at Burwood, I reckon you'll find.
Oh, wow. It's a beautiful photo. And then
I reckon that's Burwood, that one that you've got up on the screen now, I reckon.
Yep.
And that's actually... Yeah, we did a Joe and Molly Theme did some work out at a couple of those stud farms earlier in the year there for us, and they went out one morning looking for a nice foggy day, and the fog didn't roll in that day. But they did get some nice shots though for us.
Pretty straightforward. Upcoming sales across the top, sales results, race series, everything that people are asking for. There is the real estate in there as well, which is something else that you do, and you've successfully been able to do that for the years.
Yeah, and at the moment what you'll find, there's nothing there, but what we'll do is we'll actually link what we believe are equine-friendly properties, and that will actually be it'll be a link back through to the Nutrien Harcourts portal to our main real estate hub. But if you want to play around with it too, mate, if you want to click over, say, upcoming sales, for example.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
It should be starting to work for you. So if you click on your upcoming sales,
you just hover over the top, and then you can go to any of those
you go
sales.
to, so if you go to Ladbroke Sunshine Stars Sale 2025, if you want to play with that, you can scroll down and click on it.
Yep. Oh yeah. So that's your info. So your dates. The lettering.
What the letter is we start now. If you go to catalogue, click on catalogue on that heading there.
Yep, and then the online catalogue afterwards, and then away it goes. Yep.
Correct. Yeah. So it's it should so that'll go straight to it. We've also done which you can't see because we haven't got a horse in there to show you yet. But we have got our layout for our sales catalogue will be a bit different too. So it'll be a lot more like the thoroughbred layout. So you'll have all of that information on one page, whereas there were multiple clicks once you went in there before.
Yep.
You'll also see that we've changed. It used to be 2023 colt out of. Now we've got it so that the first search function is for the actual dam's name. So you'll find people were looking, pardon me, finding a a mare. They can go straight in and find that mare or that progeny now.
Yep. No, you're right. I just can't go backwards, Barto. That's not the website's issue. It's actually mine, and I'm just reluctant. I don't want to show people the actual web address, so I'm just full screening it. Anyone wondering what I'm doing, I'm just getting it back to there, and I'll just full screen it just until such time as it is live. It's no secret, but it's just better off waiting until it is good to go. But back onto it now. So that's upcoming sales. I see there it also has a sales calendar, download forms, catalogue requests. So obviously they're straightforward. You just follow those along. Sales results hasn't been built out yet, or has it?
Sale results, we're still actually loading that data. So yeah, whilst the function is there, we haven't actually come up with the full lot of results just yet. But that's certainly where you'll go through, and you'll see the Melbourne sale 2024. If you click into that, it'll actually take you through where you can go and get the stats of the actual individual results of all those sales as well. But yeah, so like I say, I thought it was probably useful to flick you the link just so you can show people. I reckon my greatest sponsor in this has been Brett Coffey. He has been, I think, driven mad by our website. So I hope when we flick it through to Brett. But I just thought, if anyone's watching there, it'll just show that we were hoping it would have been ready to go live on the 1st with the catalogue launch. But like I said to Gemma, get the catalogue out there, and we can update with the website shortly.
No, absolutely, and I'll just scroll down. So that's your latest news. Going down there, then you've got your sales catalogues, sale calendar, and you can go through. There's pictures, and I'll go where there'll be pictures put along there, plus latest news and information, and then all the contact as you go straight down the screen. So that part in itself is, I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy that, Barto. So it is pretty straightforward. News, photo gallery, videos, and as I said, this hasn't been built out yet, so don't hold us to that part. But the tease is there, Barto. It's ready to go.
Oh, look, and I think just the feel of it, it's still got our corporate, image and branding, but it's about functionality. I know, when we looked at it, we said, how do you want it to look? I said, as long as it looks Nutrien, and as long as it's more user friendly than what we've had up until now, I think we'll have hopefully ticked a box. That there's one thing that we're still learning all the time, but we hopefully people see we are listening, trying to get. It's a long road, isn't it, mate? When we get this right, there'll be something else that we can improve.
You said that. I didn't say that. I don't do mistakes. Remember, I just keep everything rolling along and go from there.
You've got to be confident enough to make mistakes. I think that's the trick, mate.
I'm confident enough. I make plenty of them. It's fine. Rightio. Sales catalogues now. The important stuff for participants. We've got Stacey Lee, Brett Hogan, the Mayor of Wagga, is actually watching. Too many. I said this to Bricky just said before, I've got too many mice happening here. This is back to the old catalogue. It's just a bit easier for me that way. I don't have to stress too much about other people seeing it. Sunshine Stars yearling sale 2021 and then 23 for the yearling sales. Am I right, Barto, on those days? 21, 22 must be. Sorry.
Correct.
Sorry, I jumped a day for some reason. Going to be a massive carnival. Just spoke to Bricky there before about it with the drivers slot series.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it, mate?
Yep.
You've got. I think we're going to have. by Sunday, hopefully, there's been terrific racing Friday and Saturday. And I've said this, and look, hats off to a number of the clubs that we work with now. But the way we work with the Bathurst Group and the way we work with Albion Park, it's it's a can-do attitude. Racing Queensland, and particularly, Bricky, they do a great job at trying to bring other opportunities to the sport. But for us as a sales company, it just means that we've got an event. Well, we've said it a couple of times. There's an event at every sale this year, but that one's just it's a highlight. This weekend we see the graduates go round for the Sunshine Stars. That's exciting. There's a couple of standout horses there too. I reckon there's a couple little every chance you'd see them venture back down to Melbourne in April for our race series as well. So,
and we will touch on that in a minute. But of course, I'm on the wrong screen. But we'll go back to there. You have 90. It says here 98. So there must already be one out, which always happens. Must be frustrating. But there's up to 99. But there must be one removed somewhere along the lines there. 98 horses in the sale, which that in itself, you must be blown away, Barto, because what was it, 40 the first year?
The first year in Brisbane were actually more than that. We had about 120 or 30 when we went to the Magic Millions complex. Then last year we were about 70 odd.
Yep. And
this year we're back to just shy of 100. And if you look at the facility and where you want to house those horses, I think that that's probably enough too. We'll end up with the place will be full. Move up, but if you look back through there, I know you can do it even on yours. If you sort by sire though too, mate, just to see what sires are represented. Yep. You've got a couple of Mickeys. You've
American
got
Ideal, Art Major, Better's Light, Better's Wish, Captain Midnight, Crunch. 2 by Treacherous, Seaside. I'll have to mention that because that could be a running joke again this year. I'm not sure, but we'll just leave that one alone.
Look, I don't know there's anyone that believes in that horse more than Mark Hughes, so he's got my vote now.
and the other bloke you're talking to at this end, but that's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Look, I guess one of them again, an interstater, which again Ben Stud, as it turns out, I think they'll support every sale issue other than Tasmania for us. But they've got one there which is they're preparing for Harvey Kaplan for Harshal Investments there, which I think is just an interesting horse there too. Classical music, Art Major. So you've got some really good standout horses coming to the state as well.
Barto, can I just correct you for a
second?
Lot
19.
Okay, so it's not under Harshal Investments, Barto. Ben Stud as agents, no. Ben Stud clients. Classic.
But if you click on the horse and actually open it up, you will see that that's consigned by Harshal Investments.
Yep.
And Ben Stud Standardbreds. But I just thought, just for one horse, it is. I did ask Ben Stud said, do we want horse there? I said, we want you to send a good one up there. And I just reckon that's you look at that family, Speak No Evil, Musical Delight.
Yep.
Queen of Pop. It's interesting. We saw the Queen of Pop the other day that Ladbrokes, which are the sponsor of that Sunshine Stars race, in a second prep at Lucky Lodge, the Better's Delight. Queen of Pop from last year too, and he looks lovely horse, well grown, and he was actually the little reel that we did as a launch for the catalogue the other night. So
and they're there. So this is on via vendors. You can go from there. People saying it's a bit clunky, but that's the way people want them there because Harshal Investments got other horses in the race. I find one of the easier ones is the preparers, because then you just go to Ben Stud Standardbreds and you can see all the horses they're preparing, and that's if you happen to know who they are. It's very, very simple, easy way to do it. But as Barto said there before, you can sift it by sires and also by dams. You can click and follow. Like I haven't clicked on any of those there just yet, but you can do that as well. So you can keep an eye on those horses as they go along and keep up to them, and then of course the vendors as well.
And look, one that is, you know, a big inclusion in our draft in Sunshine Stars will be the Bearing Bloodstock draft. They've got, you know, terrific run of size being represented. I'm looking forward this year to seeing the King of Swings, and I know they've got a Presidential Night King of Swing filly there, which I look forward to seeing. You've got American Ideal, Art Major, Better's Delight, Better's Witch down by the seaside, the Stay Hungries, which, you know, obviously I'm a fan. But you know, that's really added another level of depth to that catalogue, which I think there's bound to be a superstar amongst that catalogue of horses when you look at the the likes of the VAG draft, obviously the Burwood draft, Monarch Farms, Medallia bringing a couple of horses up as well. Somerset have always had some nice horses there as well, so it's an exciting catalogue of horses, mate, and it's also something about getting to Queensland. It's a great feel, great atmosphere, and the only thing we've been told we will get one day is one of those typical summer showers right in the middle of the sale, but we'll wait for that.
As long as it's not on the Sunday, it can happen Friday and Saturday. If it happens on the Sunday, I'll be very upset. Sorry about that. I keep kicking that thing and I can't do that. It annoys me. Dancing Lou Medowie Lodge, that'll be interesting. The first season sire. Well, he's not a first season sire now, but it'll be the first of the son of Sweet Lou. He'll be the first, I think, ever sons of Sweet Lou's that'll be available down here. So that's Darren Ray's two lots that are coming down. So that's going to add some intrigue, that's for sure.
Mate, I tell you the other one, which I'm really looking forward to, and obviously there's a local interest with Cattle Wash now, being managed at Yearby, and I think they've got a full book there now. But Victory Bonita Cattle Wash yearling colt, and I saw them a few months ago now, but at Lindsay's, it's lovely bodied horses, and I think there's only a limited number of cattle washes available, so I'd expect people would want to have a look there. And I know if you look at that pedigree, you'll see there they've gone that Matt Scooter double cross. Obviously it's a powerful pedigree, but again, I think Lindsay has a happy knack of finding the right horses. He matches his horses up well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does indeed. And I was going to say too, that's got to be the other satisfying part about so many loyal people that have been with you from the get-go and continue to come back as well. Some of those the names very regular, and makes my job a lot easier because I actually know who I'm talking to sometimes now, and I would imagine for yourself, Barto, as well.
Look, the other thing is, again, having been at it now, what this is, you get into it for 3, 4, 5 years, you start to get to know the mares or the families. So it's, and you take it, or you don't. We certainly don't take it for granted. But the people that we represent, buyers and sellers that live and breathe it every day. They've, it's probably where I've come with the stock horse sort of performance horse market. You can. I'm old enough now, I can remember the grandmothers of some of the horses that are camp drafting these days, but I find that makes our job that little bit easier. And then you see, just again the crosses that keep working. Like I say, I think there's a number of people they know how to find the right crosses, or they've worked out what families match. And like I say, it's an exciting catalogue. And one thing about Queensland, the horses are always so well grown. Like you see them there before Christmas, and you reckon you could go to auction with them.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of trotters too, which is good. As well, just got one on screen there, a Perfect Spirit and Andover Hall horse. It's got an interesting little cross that horse has. Lot number 2. There's one for. I'll have to send that one off to my great mate Nick Hooper. He'll enjoy all the black type on that horse. I just lost it. Where'd it go to? But it's got double crosses and triple crosses there everywhere. So yeah, a double of Cadabra, Garland Lobel, and Primrose Lane. So anyway,
well, we've actually interesting. We've got again on account of Yabby Dan Farms, but going to be presented by Ben Stud. I know Pat sent a Tomoka. They've sent a Tomoka colt up there out of Parisian Chick. So again, you talk about quality. These interstate horses. We've talked about anyone that wants to support that market. We love to see a good. Send a nice horse to us, and that. I think that'll be a really interesting horse to see as well. You've got a great pedigree there.
One I might give you, Barto, just one more for your little tabs. I might as well give you a hard time as anyone else. Is potentially paces and trotters. Might be able to. Some people might like that. They may not. But being able to sift, sort the two. With you could have one more So where you've got vendors, preparers,
Yeah,
sires,
yep,
whether you
yep.
go pacers or trotters, I don't know. Easy for me to say.
It's simply just another sort function, isn't it? So it wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be a major thing for me to
Be
get
careful.
our
Be
IT guys.
careful.
I say that in saying that we talked about a couple of things we wanted to think. I thought it'd be a $500 fix, and it turned out the bloke wanted 30,000 to fix something there last year. So, and it's a bit of sorcery you don't know, do you? So
be very, very careful. Right, that's the start of 3 weeks of sales for us, going through to the for there. We go to Tasmania afterwards, and there is a date change. There it goes to the 1st of March, Barto.
Yeah, look, and that's a good story too, mate. We've ended up we've been able to, by pushing back 6-7 weeks, we've been able to get access to the same facility where the Magic Millions run their thoroughbred yearling sales, not far from Carrick anyhow. And what they'll have, it'll be set up for the thoroughbred races, and they'll actually leave that infrastructure in place for us. So rather than selling on track, with a handful of boxes, we've got more horses this year. And again, mate, it's let's not take it as a surprise this time. It was a good trip we did last year before the sales, and you and I'll get round those horses again next month in December and go and have a look at what's on offer. But I know we were really surprised, or pleasantly surprised, at just how well grown they were and the quality of the catalogue. And there's again, you look at this group of horses again. There's some really well credentialed horses on sire and dam.
Yeah, absolutely. Poster boy, we've seen what he's done. There's 3 of those available. Mickey Major, Better's Wish, has got a couple there as well. Down by the seaside with 3, Lather Up with 3, Poster Boy with 3, and Ride High with 3. But then you've got Stay Hungry, a few of these other stallions going through there. Another of the Dancing Loos there as well.
I was going to say the Dancing Loo out of a Better's Delight, Sun Beach, somewhere there. So you've got to have a look at
Better Beach Babe. Yep. What's his name's family? I think. I could be out in trouble. I better not say what I thought it was. Anyway, the name's left me, which is not unusual for me. So, Bruce Edwards, I think, but it may not be. Looking at that, I don't think that is Bruce's family. But so that is a nice cross there. The Sweet Lou. It's got Sun Beach somewhere. It's got Better's Delight. It ticks just about every box there, Barto.
Yeah, it does, and I think again, you've got a handful more than last time, 31 this time. So that's that gives us a few more horses than last year, and I think we had 22. I think we started there last year. So
yep,
it'll be an interesting weekend up there, and I think they race Sunday, so we sell on a Saturday there rather than the other days are always Sundays.
Yep. So
and it'll be an afternoon, looking like a 3 o'clock in the afternoon sale. So only 30 odd horses, about an hour of selling time, we reckon, and people can get a good look at the horse in the morning and hopefully make a day of it.
Yep, exactly. And I think Carrick races are the next day. So
go to the races the next day. Exactly right.
Be able to enjoy it. So that is. I'll get off this screen for the sec, and we'll get back onto the one I need to be, because I'm flying a bit blind here. But so that is on March the 1st. We then go to March the 9th, which is the day after Miracle Mile Day, and as we said about having carnivals and the build-up, Bardo, and things along that way. The Sydney sale. It's the right time. You want to be selling at the right time. We get the right people there because it's a magic time.
And look, we saw some of the people from across the Tasman that are there for the Miracle Mile. So we enjoyed some support from New Zealand buyers there last year, and
he's actually watching. Don't you worry about that. He watches. Good. Trent Mason. He watches quite regularly. So
no. Well, like I say, we've got a it's a big enough catalogue. There's just over 200 horses in the catalogue, so it'll be a 10 o'clock start, not 11 this year. Try and get the horse sale started early. Mindful that we've got a big catalogue to get through for the day, so we need to keep rolling that day. But we'll have a lot of the horses will be on site by the Thursday. And all of them are nearly there by Friday. We will have our parade Friday evening. Again, I know there's a lot happening on Saturday, so it's hard for trainers. They put their racing hat on Saturday afternoon. So hopefully a lot of them will get out and have a look at the horses on the afternoon on the Friday, and then watch the parade, and then Saturday morning if need be. But then we'll have we'll be all up early on Sunday, but we'll start selling at 10.
Yep, all the stallions are represented there, going right through. There's 3 pages of stallions going from there. There's a little glitch for you, Bardo. There's 2 lots of Tintin in America, so there must be a glitch there somewhere in the computer, but that's okay. You guys can resolve that. So go to page 2 when you sift by sires, and then go down to Tintin.
Right, okay.
He's in there twice, but that's okay.
I can't see why it's happened. Sometimes there's a space.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
That. Well, I'm glad you proved one we've missed, because you do see sometimes it might be that the USA after it's not there, or there's a bracket on one, but we have got one there that will fix up.
Everything looks the same, doesn't it? It can't be.
Yeah, there'd have to be. There'd be something on. I bet you there's a dot or a space bar, just a blank space or something after.
You know what it is? Do you want to know what it is, Bardo? The second last one's missing an I in America. So the first one that's only got one.
America.
America. There you are. Look at me go. And anyone knows me knows I can't spell, so they'd be watching.
Mate, I don't know. Have you been to a night school?
I get bored. I sit on here. If anyone could see, I've got 4 computers sitting in front of me, and I sound like I know what I'm doing, but I get bored. But yeah, anyway, we found that one, so that's okay. That happens, Bardo. That's what you guys embrace that, and that's not a mistake.
That's part of having it up early, mate, is that we have a we have chance to get those. Look, we've had a couple of others that we've fixed up as the time's gone on. Interesting, just looking at, again, not to pick on one client, but just interesting. We do have a few Victorian horses that are in the Sydney sale. One, for example, the Slip Slop Slap. There's a Huntsville there this year, a Bay Colt.
Who's preparing that, Bardo?
So Dean and Blanche have got it. Rhiannon Park.
Yep, right. I was trying to find.
A Huntsville. I know Slip Slop Slap. She's got I think they've got a Bettis filly, and they've got a treacherous filly out of the mare. So she's obviously she's Jillaby Kung Fu's the shining light in her stable, but there's been plenty of others, LB2 chains, except Caribbean Crest.
He won a Bendigo the other night, LB2 chains.
Did he?
Not a highlight race by any means, but it's good to see him back in the winning circle, that's for sure.
No, absolutely. So so I just thought that was one to mention. You've got them there. We've also got a run of the Lauriston horses will be in the Sydney catalogue as well, which again that's happened a couple of years ago. They sent horses there, so they'll only add to the quality of that lineup as well.
That'll be those ones there. Speak no evil, tell me tales. Without you, Arden you Buttes. Be my baby. Before I say that is a Lauriston horse. Yeah, it is. Be my baby. So there you go. There's another one as well. So I didn't know that horse, but that's a first foal. That's why I didn't know it. And she's an Art Major, so you've got that Sunbeat somewhere. Art Beat Major cross as well for that one. So they're prepared by Lower Long Farms. Lower Long are taking another 3 up there as well. So
and probably the other one there you've got down by the Seaside Treasure Me. So it'll be My Ultimate Barney's full. And it's that same family that Scott Robinson, they topped the fillies with their Sweet Lou last year. It goes back to that same mare family. So I think what was it, 230,000, and did go over to New Zealand, that one too.
It went to Trent Mason. That's exactly where it
correct.
went. So so that's their lot 40 at the Seaside, and Scotty Robinson. Just going to try and find it. It's a reviewing me. I did see it. I saw it before when I was looking through those. It has to be Scott Robinson. Must be doing it himself. He's going to be a very grumpy man, Robbo. He's got quite a few. There it is. There, lot number 9. It is.
And I just see in our preparers index there with Robbo, we've got three different versions of him. So we'll be consolidating that too.
I wasn't going to say that to you, but I just saw it because
what it is. It reflects the way that the vendors have actually entered the horse. So we do go through and try and tidy them up, but we've obviously still got a couple to get. So.
Yep, no, exactly, and that's that there. So that's the half, because that filly was by Sweet Lou. So so that's the half brother to that filly that I'm going through. That's lot number 9. And anyone wondering what Barto's talking about, just the bottom 3 lots there. One has got S with the AND symbol, if you like. The second one's got SAND. Okay, and then the last one's just got Robbo on his own, and anyone who knows Robbo Bardo knows he doesn't do it on his own. So
No, he gets a lot of support, but again, like I say, you talk to Revere Me, the hunt again, another Huntsville there, but there's also you've got the other one there's Delightful Me, Captain Treacherous. I can say I've seen that colt there a couple of weeks ago, and he's a cracker already. He's a beautiful horse. So.
Yeah, rightio. I noticed that Oakbank Farms got a couple going up there as well, some trotters.
Yeah, a couple of really nice horses too.
Yep, some nice trotters, and also Harasta Trotters, great supporters of yours. Have 5 trotters going up there as well. Reina Danzante, which that horse actually, the sibling of that's going around Wednesday night. That's its name there, so it's by use to me. It's got 1 2-year-old win, but it does go very, very good. I'm not going to try and say its name because it's Ray Bellandino, but it is going around. So it's out of that Dance Craze family, but it is going around Wednesday night at Bendigo and Heats of the Breeders' Crown. So Boudamont, Cadenas de Moore, Duquan, and Falus Madrek. I'm getting better on most of those names. That's only.
And look, the other one we have got. I've only seen the one so far. Is a cattle wash, but I should mention our second biggest consigner as far as preparers, Wingate Farm. Jake's got 17 horses to take there this year, so he's got a busy week ahead of him as well. But
there's actually 2 cattle wash, Barto. There's one by.
There you go.
There's
yeah,
one.
No, I hadn't had a look on the side directory to be sure, but there is a cattle wash there.
Oh, that family. Oh, I got the wrong screen up. I thought I had the other screen. Everyone's been watching me watch the screen. Sorry about that. But lot 18. When I was telling people about S&K, I didn't have that screen up. Geez, I'm good at this. That's all right. That's out of Utopia, that family there, which is the Caribbean Blaster family. So that's that's a massive family there. And then the other one is out of Indigo Breeze, which is actually another good family, if I'm correct. El Sue, there you are. Yeah. So that's a Sir Letic actually, Benio Cup holder at one stage. So that's a brilliant family as well. They're the Indigo Breeze family. So it's going to be a lot of.
And probably just look at lot 77 while you're there looking at Jake's. You got a Better's Delight there, out of Be Happy Sam, and obviously goes back to that same family, Be Happy Mac. So
Be Happy Mac, who is actually standing there. Jake has got me promoting his horses, so make sure you get in touch with Jake. His phone number comes up a bit later on. But Be Happy Sam, double cross of BG's Bunny. There's a cool one for you. Actually, the dam. So. The sire, but that's sire of the dam on both sides. But of course, Be Happy Mac, he was a sensational horse, sensational looking horse, Bardo. Cruel by injuries he was. So I did notice. I'll go back to preparers. Jake actually had a pretty strong number of horses there, 17. So they'll be.
Yeah, that's what I say. He'll be our second busiest. People there's Ben Stud, I think, have got 21 or 2, and then I think Jake's 17. But I think the Cobbity have got 14 horses there with us in Sydney, and Madawi they've got 10. Mataranka will have 8, and then you'll see there's a busy time ahead for them, that's for sure.
Yeah, lucky it won't be busy for us. I apologise for that. When I was talking before, I didn't realise, as I said, when I look back, I'm like, oh, the camera's on me, not on the screen. But that's I'll just get the Cobbity teams up there as well, because we like to look after everyone, but a good range of different stallions there as well.
I was going to say, if you look at that Cobbity draft, there's the King of Swings are going to be. A lot of people should be looking at them. I know, looking at them as babies, you see them around the places you go and say, what's that? And I know it's a King of Swing, and they're beautiful big boned horses. So
I've already seen 2 of them, and I would have took both of them home. And Scott Robinson's got them both. I don't mind saying, and I took them home before I knew what they were. You're just lovely types, and I don't get paid to say that. He's anyone knows that. So it's a thing. Our Dollywood, she was a great trotting mare herself. It's good to see she's had some, and they've got one there by Honest Streak, of course, with the relationship with Harasta Trotters. So, I was just doing a little bit of me time, Bardo. Don't worry about that. I was looking at that going forward. And then the last of our sales, which is going to be a massive weekend, is Melbourne. You're going to have to help me on the dates, Bardo, because I haven't got them in front of me. Actually,
13th.
was going to say I will have them here because I'll be right up there in front of me there. The 13th of April they will be. So,
Which will be the Sunday. And we'll have our race series final. Will be on the will be on the Friday night. So we'll have the finals of our pacing finals. Will be the 2 and 3 year old pacers.
Yep, 150 to 160 lots going through, so that's a lovely number. But as you said, same weekend as the finals. So finals on the Friday night, parade on the Saturday, sale on the Sunday. Going to be a massive weekend for Nutrien.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And look, I think it's something that we didn't quite get it together last year. We couldn't get the finals that weekend or a week later, but hopefully we'll push the trotters back after feedback from people to give them a little bit more time, which we understand. But then you look at the those finals, it'll be some great racing, and it's always good you uncover a new a new juvenile winner. Then that a lot of them are kicked on and been great horses for the back end of the year too.
Yep, Durham Park back with 10. I think Aldebaran Park with 13 actually. Alabar with 19, unless there is clients with a couple others. Benstud there with 11. I was about to say 8, but they've got 11. The Atworthy boys are bringing 2 to Melbourne, and hopefully their coffee machine as well. So going along. Just having a look. Michael, as a party's got 5.
Yeah, well, Benstud will actually have 26 horses in Melbourne.
Okay, because some of these are. What am I looking at? I'll go to the preparers. Might be a bit easier. So
you should see 26 horses there. Aldebaran have got 16, Alabar 20.
So Barto, just on that, on the top of this one here, it's got no data 1. Does that mean that you're not sure who's preparing one horse or not? Just something for you.
Sometimes, that's one I'll have to find out. But sometimes you'll have somebody has there's a privacy piece where you can actually hide your own details, which. If you hide it in the wrong spot, then it doesn't put up that detail. So again, normally that's been that's been fixed up. So
it's one for Dean and Blanche. It's a Captain Crunch out of Melody Beach. So it's lot number 264.
Look, we'll get that sorted. I'd say they haven't entered the preparer.
Yep.
So we just need to.
So
and look, that's part, like I say, that's part of having it up now, so we can make sure that sort of thing's done.
And this is not the paper version, so you're able to sort those out. Jamie Lee Bryan must be aware of that. That is now Jamie Lee Scott, now Jamie Lee Bryan. Benstud, as you said, 26 going through there, 10 for Durham Park. That'll be Lower Long Farms. Kath McIntosh has got 14. Monty Burnett back with 13. Neville and Louise Pangrazio with 5. Oakbank with 4. Rachel Bean's got 2. Rhiannon Park, I'd say, have got 7. And who's that one there? Solar Trek Racing have got 5. Oh, and Yabby Dam Farms, 13. So make sure we showcase those as well. So great sale, plenty of trotters, plenty of everything in here. Most of the sires are covered. I'll go across to the sires, and again, all the sires.
One that I think, again, not to try and pick on one vendor, but Oakbank have got a Captain Treacherous there out of Riri Rihanna, the American Ideal in the pocket mare. So you've got again, that's one that I'll be looking forward to seeing before the sale.
Very good. Okay, so and the Captain Treacherous is well and truly sought after. There's not a lot in the sale either, Barto, actually. So
no, there's seven Treacherous in Melbourne.
And I reckon,
like I said to someone,
was there 2 in Queensland?
There's at least 1. I'd have to go back and have a look now, to be honest.
Yeah, there's not an abundance of them.
No, and Colts and fillies. I think we've got. There's only 2 fillies in Melbourne.
Yep.
And the balance, and then the balance of Colts, 5 Colts.
Yep. Poster Boy with 5. Ride High. Where's Soho Tribeca? He's doing a good job. Oh, he hasn't got 1 in the sale. That's disappointing. Storm Inside. And then
interesting too. Only 5 Sweet Loos in Melbourne, yet I know we're looking at quite a significant number in New Zealand catalogues this next season, I reckon. So
next couple of years there'll be stacks. So a unique
So,
opportunity.
but only a limited number in Melbourne for us, which they've been great horses doing a wonderful job. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Rightio, mate. Thank you. What else do we have to get out there, though? I'll get in
I think I think probably the thing that's probably most important this next 2 weeks is the heats and then the finals for the Sunshine Stars. You know, the Albion Park Club, they'll host a great carnival or a great little series there for the sale horses and those non-sale, which you can, as long as they're paid up before the catalogue entries close. But I think that's probably the next fortnight's probably our focus, and then it's looking to try and have a catalogue out, obviously before Christmas, which is always their plan, and we'll close entries for Bathurst if people have still got horses they want to try and place. But take the chance to thank all of those people that have given us the opportunity to present their horses or work with them in presenting their horses next season. And hopefully we're with a bit of technology with the website and the way we've laid out the catalogue, we might be making a couple of positive steps. In where there's been plenty of things that have we can do better, but hopefully we're on track.
No, absolutely. There's a new website. It is there. It will go up very, very shortly, so make sure you see that. Dennis Greaves is on. Dennis Greaves, I wonder if he's going to be seen in Queensland. Of course, he bought a horse last year in Queensland, a trotter, so hopefully we can get him involved again. I think he said he wasn't buying. He ended up buying quite comfortably, so that's what we want. We want these guys watching, so and go from there. But I think I did.
I'm looking forward to seeing how those driver slots go around in the those couple of days before the Sunshine Stars sale too. So
yep, no, absolutely. And one of the sales graduates won the other night. The Locomotive, Brad Hewitt drive.
Yep, Brad Hewitt had him. Yep.
Yeah, and Brad's got him, and actually two of them.
He did look good too. I rewatched that only last night. Actually, I hadn't seen it and put it up and had a look. And I thought, geez, he's just a natural gaited horse. He does a nice job, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, and he's out of the Locomotive, which is actually that same family we showcased just before of Harasta Trotters. I think that's the one going to Queensland. Is out of that same family, but
yes.
Just on that, Barto, because I'm sure the Locomotive won the last race. No, she won the second last race. So both Ludicrous and the Locomotive were both out of that first sale. Both horses raced in the first race series at Menangle on that day, and they're both up and going now. So that's pretty exciting, isn't it, to see these horses really, really stepping up. So the Locomotive has won, where is it, 365,000 if you don't mind, for a $90,000 purchase, and then Ludicrous, I don't know what Ludicrous cost, but she's 11,000 shy of the $200,000 mark. So just an amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
And she's only won 7 races, just a beautiful filly. So yep, it's a really good story starting to come out, Bardo.
No, excellent, mate, excellent. No, we'll look forward to seeing what happens. Heats on Friday in Brisbane. So that'll be our next group of graduates, like for the 2-year-olds going around this year. And look, where it works out well too, we've just finished the Breeders' Challenge in New South Wales, and then they can go there. Then they can get a little layoff, and they can head back down to Melbourne in April. So it means there's plenty on the calendar for those Nutrien graduates.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, and exciting, mate. Thank you. We will be doing plenty more, pretty much from now on. It'll start ramping up.
Pleasure, mate.
We've got horses, but the new look catalogue. I actually still have it up there on the screen. It's there. It's ready to go. It looks classy, sleek. Everything's there in front of you. Very, very easy to hit and go through. It's not quite finished yet, but it will be finished very shortly. So a nice little sneak peek. Basically says that you are listening to the people, mate, and you are changing things up, which is what we want, mate.
And you see we've even got a Campbell's Comment podcast there on the front page there, mate, just to give you a plug too.
Mate, I don't need any help, but you're spot on. And if you notice, I'll streak it up a little bit. I didn't have the Nutrien logo, but I'll bring the Nutrien logo up that little bit further for you, so it'll be fine. Mate, thank you, and well done. And we'll look forward to catching up with you over the next couple of weeks. But tune in Friday afternoon for the Nutrien graduates at Albion Park, which will be exciting, and hopefully they can get full field of the boys and the girls. That'd be terrific if they can go into a final, so it'd be really, really good, mate. Thank you.
We'll actually have one getting on a truck to head up there, I reckon, probably tomorrow, so we'll have one to run round, so that'll be a bit of fun too.
Very good. Good luck with that. That will be Sugar Rush, I would imagine, is the name of that.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. So she'll hopefully have 2 more weeks, and then she can come home and have a little spell.
Yep, very good. Bardo, thank you very much, mate.
Good on you, mate. No, I appreciate your time.
We have Mark Barton, who just joined me then with all the new look, and must say, it does look really sleek. He sneakily sent it through to me a way to have a look, but yeah, everything's laid out there. I don't want to click on things that maybe not quite ready, because it's all but there, but just not quite there as well. But yeah, going to be cool, interactive and simple to do. It's got a contact us link there, but as I said, not going to click on anything too much just yet. Don't want to people to think it's, as I said, it's not there to be released, but not far off. Ray Woods, you're right, Jeff. Yarra Valley used to have a $20,000 plus cup and used to get a great field. And spot on too, Jeff Dixon as well, suggesting the sooner we go back to Moonee Valley, the better, which I tend to agree with. Mickey Bellman is on there. He hasn't been racing today. He's probably been out fishing. Knowing Mickey, so hopefully he has. Hopefully he's enjoyed his weekend away. So yeah, going from there. Rightio, don't forget, make sure that you don't forget the trainers bonuses and that for stall Standardbred. Close Wednesday morning at 8:30, so be aware of that. But $15,000 trotting and pacing cups, $2,000 trainer for a day with a 3-2-1. Sorry, that can't be right. It must be a 4-3-2. 4-3-2 it must be. Have to listen to my own interview. You get 1 point for turning up, and then the accumulation of points first, second, and third. Driver for the day, that is just the leading driver for the day, will get $2,000, hoping to get all the leading drivers there on a Sunday, and a $50 voucher, fuel voucher per starter, everyone that nominates, so well done to those. Had Ben Smith turn on, I just asked, big crowd at Kaikoura, so that is great. Mickey Bellman, great initiative by Standardbred. It is terrific, Mick. It's, as I said, get people thinking about it, get the message out there, and that's what we want. And I must say, huge well done to those guys for using me and utilising me. Again, there's the Nutrien sales dates up there for you. Tasmania, the 1st of March. So it starts with Sunshine Coast on the 23rd, then to the 1st of March, the 9th of March at Sydney, 30th of March for Bathurst, and we didn't touch on that, but that is, of course, still to come, and then Melbourne on the 13th. My friends at NZB, their sale dates are out. I've got to do something a bit better with that banner. I did it very quick the other day, but the 15th at Karaka on the North Island. So that is Saturday the 15th at Auckland, and then Tuesday the 18th at Christchurch at Canterbury, riding for the disabled. But I think if you put the Canterbury Showgrounds, if you don't know, but you should, it's fine. You'll be able to find it. It's very, very simple going out there. And again, huge thank you to all of my sponsors and supporters: Aldebaran Park, Standing Dancing in the Dark M, Sky Valley and Aldebaran Eagle, Harass the Trotters with their full range of stallions there, EL Titan, Classic Connection, always ready and used to me, available as fresh chilled semen here in Australia, and on a streak, only available in New Zealand as fresh chilled semen and not available over here at all in Australia. Then EL Titan and Classic Connection are available in New Zealand, as well as Back of the Neck only in Australia through Frozen Semen, then Equity D and Orlando Vici only via Frozen Semen, but both of those, and of course Orlando Vici, the 100% producing stallion, going from there. And then the Woodland Stud roster as well, with Better's Delight, Down by the Seaside, Lather Up, Speeding Spurs, Sweet Lou, and What the Hill, the ill-fated American Ideal. His book is closed and finished. Frozen Semen, and is now no longer available and will not be available next year, unfortunately, because his book is closed. And of course Sweet Lou is fully booked here in Australia, going from there. And then of course Wingate Farms have asked me to help promote their stallions. Get in touch with Jake Stockton, 0428 527 998. Thank you to everyone who has tuned into the show. Really appreciate it. Just have fun. We change it up. Man, it's nearly gone for 2 hours. Try and change it up. Have a little bit of fun, and do some different stuff when we can. So I really do appreciate people getting involved, promoting the industry, getting on the front foot, thinking outside the square. That's what we encourage on here, plus some random conversations as well. Thank you. We'll see you all next Monday night for On Loose Lines, 6 o'clock. Not changing the time through summer. We're sticking with 6 o'clock. Get used to it. It's here to stay. See you all next week.